Let's give him a round of applause. Matisyahu. Hello. I don't know, hug you again? Yes, there you go.
We've never hugged.
I know. I feel like we just did this yesterday, kind of, but kind of 2 weeks ago. Do you want to sit? Where do you
We
want
could sit next to each other. I don't know.
I don't know. This is
opposite
very
side
formal
of the
looking.
table. You tell me.
I feel very formal over here, but all right.
All right. Can I get a little bit in the monitor wedges here?
Thank you. This is very.
You can't hear yourself.
You can't hear me?
But out there, but you can't hear yourself.
Can you guys hear us out there?
Yeah, no, they can hear us out there, but we can't hear ourselves here. Can we hear ourselves here?
I don't.
All right, whatever.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It sounds like I'm in a cave or a castle. I just want to hear myself in the monitors.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
See. It sounds kind of hollow, but
Monitors. Can we hear ourselves in the monitor? Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
yeah. Well, thank you for being here.
It's amazing to be here. Thank you for having me. Would you like a boxed water?
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Don't you feel like we just literally did this a month ago together?
Yeah.
Yeah, and now we're doing it again. All right, so we're going to talk to you for a few minutes for...
See?
What?
Isn't that incredible? Do you hear the difference?
No, but you're the musician.
You don't hear the difference?
No, maybe I'm tone deaf.
You
I
know,
don't
you
know.
definitely hear the difference.
Do you guys hear the difference out there?
No.
Okay,
it's
sorry.
not about them.
It's about us.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I actually don't hear the difference.
All right, can you just bring it down a little bit in
Maybe,
the
yeah,
monitors?
now that you said it, I do.
Just a smidge.
A little bit I do.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers. And I like your bald head. Looks really good. Much better than...
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so...
I like your highlights.
Thank you.
You know?
Thank you. All right, so we're gonna take it back to October 7th for a moment here, and we're gonna ask you a few questions. Matisyahu is going to perform in a few minutes, but I thought it would be a good idea to kind of get your ideas, your thoughts, and just ask you where were you on October 7th, and you know, a lot of celebrities, people in the media and spotlight were are very scared to be outspoken. Did you ever have that fear? And tell me what your experience has been because of what you've done.
Okay, so there's three things.
Yes, that's what I do.
Okay, October 7th. Why am I not scared to speak out? And what was the third? It was the very...
Were you scared, actually?
Oh, okay.
Initially, before you did. Did you ever think maybe did you ever second guess it or think that maybe I shouldn't?
I didn't, because I'm very connected to the Jewish thing, you know. But on October 7th, I was performing at a reggae festival in Las Vegas, and my son is in Israel, so when I woke up, it was Shabbos, and he's religious, so I couldn't be in touch with him. And then I just was sort of, you know, stressed out, and me and my wife were like walking around, kind of like couldn't believe what had happened. And then I was supposed to perform, so I went to walk to the festival, and we was backstage. It felt very strange and very weird to be in that environment, like not with any Jewish environment. And then I right away thought of another artist that I know who's Jewish who was performing. So I reached out to him, I texted him, and he didn't respond. And then I texted his manager, and then he didn't respond. And then I saw his tour manager, and I'm like, I want to connect with this guy and sing Jerusalem, and post it, because that was like the first thing that came to my mind. Like, let me find another Jew and do something Jewish, you know, together. And then they were like, oh yeah, he doesn't want to talk to you.
Really?
Yeah, and they were like, yeah, he doesn't want anyone really knowing that he's Jewish. So that was my very first experience on October 7th. And then I went out onto the stage, and I felt like, okay, what am I supposed to do? And then I saw somebody with an Israeli flag, and then I brought them up on the stage, and then I immediately knew what I was supposed to do from that moment. That I'm supposed to do what I believe to be the truth, what I believe to be real, you know, and what I believe to be important. And it's one of the easiest decisions that I've had to make in my career or in my lifetime. I've had lots of times where it's been difficult and it's been hard to say, okay, well, the pros and the cons of this or that. But when it comes to the survival of the Jewish people and when we're under attack, it sort of touches a certain part of my soul, like Montana or like yourself or like a lot of the Jews in this room, where it's not a question. It's not something that we kind of like weigh the odds, you know, this or this. We have some connection to our history, and even though we've grown up in a generation where we haven't had those struggles, somehow we connect to something deeper than our own life, something deeper. And that must be some type of spiritual thing that we're connected to. And it immediately hits this point inside of us that says, we're under attack, we have to look out for each other, we have to step up, and this is the number one thing. So it wasn't really that difficult of a decision for me, to be honest.
How has it impacted your career?
Well, my manager dropped me on the first, he wanted me to change some lyrics that I wouldn't change in one of my songs, so that he dropped me. So I've been managing myself ever since, with the help of my wife, thank God, Talia. And we have some good people around us, some old friends that have stepped up and helped me. But basically, I got tossed off the summer tour that I was supposed to be on. I was supposed to perform at a reggae festival this summer. They didn't want to mention that I was on the festival, and so they tossed me off. So in terms of the outside world of, the community, reggae community, whatever, they have not been supportive. The Jewish community has been incredibly supportive and has really stepped up, and I've been able to be at events like this and perform and do my thing, and that's been helpful. And then, my fans, I've always just done my thing, whether I had a hit song or whether I had 3,000 people in the room or 300 people in the room. I was on tour 200 days a year for the last 20 years, whether you know it or not. I've been releasing music and been grinding. And I have real fans that are Jewish or they're not Jewish, but they've lived with my music. And those people will show up no matter what, So whether I'm in Omaha, Nebraska or Boise, Idaho, I've got like probably 300 to 700 like diehard fans that will show up. They're probably not Jewish, but they know every word to the song. They know what biblical verses I've quoted from, and those are the core fans that have allowed me to really do what I've been able to do for the last 20 years.
Don't you have a new song out right now, or a new video, or?
I have a few things.
Yeah? Do you want to talk about anything that you have right now that's
I have a
fresh?
song called Ascent that I released, which is a song about anti-Semitism, and we made a video in Israel about it at the site of all the massacres that happened on October 7th. And it's pretty powerful, I think. And we have a EP out called Hold the Fire, and I have a new EP coming out that's an acoustic version of those songs, kind of similar to what I'm going to be doing tonight.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it. Can we just talk a little bit about all the shows that were, or the shows that were canceled, and they gave the excuse of security reasons? And do you have anything to talk about, say about that? What do you think?
Seems like people are scared for one reason or another. Either scared like actually for security or scared for their job or something, And some people, it became okay to do it. Basically, 10 years ago, I was protested by the BDS on a festival in Spain in 2015. And they asked me to sign some document saying that I am against Israeli war crimes or something. And I said no. I was the only artist on the festival asked to do that. And they threw me off the festival in the middle of the tour 2 or 3 days before. And I just didn't even mention it at the time, I didn't even think of it as anti-Semitic. I just was like, I'm going to get the night off. They're still going to pay me.
Yeah, that's right.
So basically they posted a whole thing, and they were like, all right, we took care of this guy. And there was an immediate uproar that an American Jew was thrown off a festival for being Zionist, you know, and to the point where the government of Spain pulled funding and permits from the festival within 20 hours. Yeah.
Wow.
And they had to make a public apology, and they had to beg me to come back. And when I came back, they had to have security and government officials, and it was to close down the airport for me. And that was 10 years ago. Now, today, if that happened, no way, right? I mean, it wouldn't happen. I mean, now it's completely considered acceptable and okay to shut down any Jew or non-Jew who believes that there should be a state of Israel, basically.
Yeah.
And that's become accepted. So everything has changed in the last 10 years pretty drastically.
Yeah, it has. It's terrible, and that's why we're all here today, right? To unite and to come together to fight anti-Semitism, which is why you're going to be performing, which we're all very excited about. So I think we're ready for it. So thank you so much for these few little questions that we did beforehand to get to know your situation and story a little more.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for doing this.
Absolutely. Thank you. And the podcast with me and Matisyahu comes out this Tuesday on
Oh, really?
Yes.
Does it?
Yes, it comes
Amazing.
out finally. Yep. Took a while, but we got there.
You have to make some edits.
Yeah, a few edits. It's very long, so I may have to break it up into like parts.
Oh God! Can I approve it?
Part two. You may. I don't. Do you
Yes,
want to?
I heard. I saw that.
No, I don't.
I
think
may
you
want
do.
to.
No. It's really good. It's actually very raw, really good. We get to really know Matisyahu on a more deep level. And you had hair back then, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll let you perform. So I'm gonna get off the stage and.
Thank you.
And say goodbye.
Okay.
I don't know.